Hello and welcome to Sprite Guard Plays OlliOlli 2. This is the sequel to a game that I played on this channel quite a while ago. Really enjoyed it, had some stability issues, was crashing, and so I wasn't able to do as many videos of it as I wanted to. This is the sequel. It seems to be a lot more stable. It really builds on the formula that OlliOlli had in a lot of really interesting ways. It's the same basic formula. You have the career levels where you have 5 challenges on each level, and then you have pro levels that have harder challenges, and then you have a daily grind, and you have spots, which are you just try and get the best score that you can get, try and do a combo. Let's see if we can do a combo here. You actually have more options for comboing because you can do these manuals by holding a direction when you land, and tapping A, just like in the old game. So I want to actually go over the controls a little bit. So you tap A to land, and the closer you tap A to the ground, as long as you tap before you hit the ground, the higher your score will be. And it's terraced, it's not like frame perfect. So there is a pretty tight timing though. And then if you hit a direction at the same time that you hit A, you go into a manual which extends your combo. And so that has kind of improved the options. So the way you jump is by flicking the left stick. If you flip it down or up, you get an ollie. Front or back gets you a kick flip. And then doing kind of curves on the stick before you flick it allow you to do tricks. And then you press a direction and you can press the bumpers. You press a direction to grind, and you press the bumpers to spin and change your stance. This one, in addition to manuals, also adds some grind switches, which I will see if I can pull one off. It is pretty tricky, and it requires kind of coordinating your hands in some interesting ways. And basically what it is when you land on a grind, you hold a direction, and then if you change your direction and press A, you will switch what grind stance you're doing. So I'm going to see if I can do it on maybe a longer grind, because this one is so short that it's hard to see me really changing my stance. And I didn't do a great job, but I think I got a few of them in there, though. So let us head into the career mode, and I will show you a little bit of that. I am currently working on the third world, Gunmetal Creek. They're all kind of based on movie settings. So the first one is just Olliwood, and it's kind of the city. And then the next one is Curse of the Aztec, and it's this kind of Indiana Jones thing. And then this one is Western, and there's lots of movie sets. It's all very Hollywood themed. So this is the new one that I'm working on, and the challenges are get a score of 600,000 points. I should be able to do that. Finish a 42 combo with a sick landing or better. So that's going to require getting a lot of this game is really dependent on your landings. You can do a really complicated combo, and then if you crash at the end, you get no points, and if you have a sloppy landing, you get very few points. So what you do in the combo is really important, but how you end the combo is also extremely important. So grind through the mines and finish. So this has a lot of mines that we go through, so let's see if we can do that. Finish with only sick or perfect landings and manuals. Grind switch 3 times in a level-long combo, so let's see if we can do any of that. So we can start out with some manuals here, and that was not a great manual. So that's the mine that we want to go into, and we need to grind through it in order to get the bonus. So let's see if we can do that. They also have added these launchers, and getting through this mine is actually, it requires doing perfect grinds, otherwise you lose too much speed. So these launchers, if you do a trick right as you go off the end, you get a bonus. Alright, so we made it through that. And we're not going to get the bonus for only having good landings, but we made it through the mine. And that is one of the challenges that we needed. And so as long as we finish now, we should be able to check that off, but of course I crashed. And crashes are a lot more damaging in this one than they were in the last one. Because you're on these movie sets, there's a lot of like spikes, and I saw in the dailies that there's some settings in here that have nuclear waste and electricity and stuff, so it's a little bit more gruesome than the previous ones. So we need to do a level long combo, which is something that really drives this iteration, is getting these manuals to link up all of our tricks. And this level is actually kind of at the edge of what I'm able to do in this game. I'm still really learning a lot of the coordination. I have to relearn a lot of stuff because it's been so long. So there I didn't get some perfect grinds and I lost a lot of speed. But we managed to pick some of it up. And so now what we need to do is we just need to finish. And we will get one. And of course, as soon as I say that, I don't finish. I have not finished this level at all. So I think probably what we want to do is just head back to an earlier level and see if we can just do some stuff just to show it off a little bit. So I am just doing all of the different things that I've talked about. You can go up there to get some collectibles. That's one of the things that you have to do to 5-star this level. And of course, getting the level long combos is, there's one thing that I don't really like that this game did, which is that they kind of gate off when they will teach you certain moves, and you just can't do parts of the tutorial until they are necessary. And so it ends up being you don't actually learn how to do a lot of the moves. Like this game actually has, I can show you in the skate park, moves that I have not even learned yet. Reverts I still have not learned. Spins are the same as in the previous game, but we can do the spins training. There we go. How to spin to 5 tricks without slamming. Oop. So let's see if we can do that. And I'm not hitting it quite at the right time. There we go. Whoops, and that's a fall. But we keep our progress in the tutorials. There we go. And then one more. And I just completely forgot to press the button there. So we'll give it another shot. There we go. And that is our 5 tricks with spins. And so we have learned that, and we get a star for it. So then, really what I kind of think of as the heart of this game. Oh, I want to show you really briefly that there's a local multiplayer option where you can have high score competitions, which I really like. I wish it was online. I wish there was kind of more flexibility to it, but I really like that there's a head-to-head high score competition, because everything else is record-based. Daily grind is every day there's a new level, and you try and get the highest score. There's a leaderboard. And so you have to do manuals and spins and just try and keep your combo going. It uses spot rules, which means that as soon as your combo ends, the level ends, and then once you get to the end of the level, your combo ends. So let's see if we can beat that score. And it uses the same combo rules as in the old daily grinds in OlliOlli 1, that you can practice as many times as you want, but you are not allowed to record your score until you say, you know, I'm going to commit to this run. You kind of have to call your shot ahead of time. And so you have to really kind of feel confident that the tricks that you're going to do are the ones that you're going to be able to do them, that you can do them consistently. And so I am going to try and get something put together here and see if we can... that was not a good landing, and really the daily grinds are where it becomes really apparent that having a perfect landing is so important, and it affects your score so much. And you actually, in order to get a really good score, you actually have to start out with a trick and then manual until you get up to the first grind. And I played one daily grind where you had to, or you were able to do multiple manuals starting out like that. And this one is actually, it's from an earlier world, and so it's a little bit easier than the last daily grind that I worked on. And so it's actually, it's a little bit more feasible that I might be able to finish this one. So there we go. That's a little bit of that. Not getting as many perfects as I really want to, and I should be working some grind switches into this as well. So let's see if we can get some of those. And I missed that. So what I want to do is I want to start with a spin and then 2 manuals, really ideally 2 perfect manuals. So let's see if we can get that. That's good enough. And then a manual there, a grind switch. Totally missed the grind switch there. So spin, manual, grind, fall in the water. There we go, 2 perfect manuals, missed the grind switch, that's fine. There we go. So this is actually something that I'm thinking about running on Twitch a little bit, because it's such a grindy game that it almost seems like doing YouTube videos is not really the best format. I've noticed that grinding is a lot more feasible on Twitch because you're interacting with people directly. And so there's less of a need to keep the commentary just really consistent. I do want to see if I can get a good score here, so I want to kind of try and put together something, and maybe I will edit something in, or I don't know. I don't know what the best way of doing this is, because I feel like the amount of practice that I need to do here is kind of outside of what even makes sense for a YouTube video. But let's see if we can at least get this beginning bit down. So that is something that is going to take some work. There we go. So yeah, it's tricky. And it takes a lot of practice, and I really love that. Like, when I talk about the joy of gaming, one of the things that I'm really talking about is that joy of working on something so challenging. Missed the grind switch there, but we got a perfect landing, and so that's a pretty good score. Now, I know that the current high score is 631, so I know that there's more that I can grind out of this. So, okay, so I'm really not in any place where I'm able to do this for real, but I kind of want to give it a shot and just see how far I can get it. So go big or go home. You only get one go, so make it count. So let's see what we can do here. Not great. Not great. But that was good. There we go, and a perfect landing, so we actually got a pretty decent score. Not great, but about as good as I could have hoped for. So 272,084 is the score that we will put onto the leaderboard. And we can now actually take a look at that. And number 11, well, That's quite a lot better than I expected. Looks like there's only 20... I can't tell if there's only 20 people have done this, or if there's only 20 people on the leaderboard. But 11th place is pretty sweet. Now there are 15 hours left, which means we're only not even halfway through the day yet. So it may be that at the end of the day I will be at the bottom of the leaderboards, or even pushed off of it all the way. I don't know yet. By the time this goes up, it will be too late to try and beat this score in particular, but I will be doing these daily challenges quite a lot. I may end up doing daily challenge videos. I don't know how well that will work with my schedule, but it's something that I really wanted to do with the original OlliOlli and wasn't able to do because of the stability problems, and so I'm really happy to have a more stable and more complex spin on this gameplay that I really like. I really recommend you check this game out. It is available on Steam right now. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.